Hello everyone, welcome to our reading for today. It is Thursday, July 20th. We are on day 201. 201. Amazing, isn't it? That we're rolling on like we are. We're still in Jeremiah, and we're going to start a new section of Jeremiah today. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a overview of what this section is going to be talking about. We're talking about Jeremiah 17:1 through 49:39, and no, we're not going to read all of that today. But anyway, so by the time we get to Jeremiah 30, more than halfway through its 52 chapters, we would begin to wonder how the people of Judah could continue to hold on to their faith. Every bit of evidence that they used to rely on to believe in God would be gone. From the glory days under King David, God's people had always relied on three pieces of evidence to prove that God was with them. Whenever they went through hardship, they need only look at three physical external realities to remind them that God was there. They had the temple, they had the land, and they had the royal line. The temple was a reminder of God's presence. As long as it was standing, they could believe God was there. The land was a reminder of God's provision. As long as they were living in the promised land given to their ancestors, they could believe God would meet their needs. And as long as a descendant of David was sitting on the throne, they could believe in God's power, and they could not be defeated. Well, by the time we get to Jeremiah 30, we hear a prophet who would warn them time and time again that all three of those external proofs of God's presence, provision, and power were soon going to be obliterated. That was Jeremiah's job, prophesying on the eve of the Babylonian exile. His commission from God was to warn of disaster. He warned the people and rulers of Judah that the exile to Babylon was coming. The temple would be destroyed, the royal line dethroned, and the people removed from their land and shipped to foreign soil. The experience would be one of dramatic, irreversible disorientation. Predictably, the people of Judah were angered by the message from Jeremiah. Every time he would point out these disorienting times to come, the people would do something bad to him. They beat him, put him in stocks. They burned his scrolls, put a death sentence on his head. They threw him into a cistern. Few prophets were popular, but none were more unpopular than Jeremiah. Still, through it all, Jeremiah was unwavering. And by the time we get to Jeremiah 30 and 31, we hear a word that moves from disorientation to reorientation. Jeremiah's message was that although the external evidence that they used to rely on for courage and comfort and to hold on to God's grace, there is a new kind of evidence that will never, ever fade. And it's been with you the whole time. The time is coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel and Judah. It won't be like the covenant I made with their ancestors. They broke that covenant with me. No, this is the covenant that I will make with my people, Israel, after that time, declares the Lord. I will put my instructions within them and engrave them on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. That's what we'll be reading when we get to 31, verses 31 through 33. From now on, Jeremiah said, the evidence of God's presence, power, and provision has been placed within you. Internal, not external. And this proof will never be subjected to circumstance, and it will never fade. This covenant, this relationship you have with God will not be written on stone like the covenants of old, which fracture and crumble with the times. This covenant is written in the indelible grace of God, etched in your very heart.